Hello there, good day, and welcome to This Week. This week is where I bring you news tidbits from Ghana, Africa, and across the world. In the headlines this week, government says COVID-19 freebies are not for free. Also, in some other stories, Tanzania lost its president earlier this week. This and many other stories coming up shortly. Do stay tuned, we will be right back. Welcome back. Earlier last year, in the outbreak of COVID-19, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo announced to Ghanaians that Ghanaians are going to get free water and electricity for the next 3 months, and this was extended severally until this year. Earlier this week, Kojo Oppong Nkrumah revealed that the COVID-19 freebies that we were enjoying as Ghanaians are not free. Wow. Shocking revelation. How is that even possible? Something that our president stood on live television to tell Ghanaians that we're going to enjoy free water and electricity. How did it become something that we're going to pay for? So he went on to reveal that government spent 19.7 billion on COVID-19 expenditure, but checks by a reputable media house Joy News reveals that they spent 1.7 billion. So the question is, what happened to the rest of the funds meant for the fight of COVID-19? That is a topic for another day, but my main concern is how the president announced that in the fight of COVID-19, we're going to be enjoying free water and electricity, and then in the end they come back to tell us that it is not for free and that we have to pay for it to bridge that economic gap. First of all, I think that we have been disrespected in every sense, and then also they haven't been transparent to the Ghanaian people, and so here lies the case where we can't trust them as a government. And so I'm also right to say that free SHS is also not free, even though it has nothing to do with it. But I have every right to say that free SHS is also not free. And so personally, I don't trust this government, and I don't know why they would lie in our faces. This is what happened with the whole chaos about COVID-19, freebies, free water, and all. We're going to pay for it, so get ready. Also, in some other stories, earlier this week, former Auditor General Mr. Daniel Yaw-Demelevo, who was asked to proceed on his retirement, is now being asked to prepare his handing over notes and hand over to the acting Auditor General Mr. Johnson Ekwamwa-Esiedu. Now, in a letter replying to the board of the Auditor General's department, he described this request as preposterous, as he has been out of office for the past 8 months, and then he resumed work and the acting Auditor General didn't even hand over to him. He's yet to do so. And so my question here is, what exactly is he handing over? But in the same letter, he says that if the Auditor General's department still insists that he should prepare this handing over notes within 2 weeks, then they should also let the acting Auditor General hand over to him. Then he can also hand over to the acting Auditor General. But in this whole miraculous drama of fate, he has been appointed as part of a broad team by the European Union as an auditor to help audit the European Union's funds and whatnot to other countries. On the 2nd of March 2021, the Aduana Stars defender Farouk Adams was arrested for allegedly knocking down a police constable, which led to his death. He was charged with careless and inconsiderate driving, failing to report the accident to the police, failing to stop to attend to the victim, and then driving without road use certificates. This man, I don't know. You know, Some people are raised in homes and others are raised in houses, and clearly this young man was raised in a house, because no one in his right senses would do this and not take responsibility for their actions. The right thing he should have done was stop to check if this young man was okay and then rush him to the hospital to receive medical attention. But he left this young man there to die, and now he was arraigned for court and has been granted bail. Shocking revelation. He's been granted bail for such an offense. I don't know why he was granted bail. I think our laws don't favor some people and it favors others, and this is clearly one of them. I don't think this is something that he should be left to go home, and he had to pay 60,000 Ghana cedis for this. He's to reappear in court on the 7th of April 2021 so that we can know the headways of this case. But rest in peace to this young police constable who lost his life in the midst of all this. In some African stories, Tanzania lost its president, John Pombe Magufuli, earlier this week due to some heart complications at age 61. Many people say it was due to COVID, but it is not yet known as to what killed him. And his vice president has said that it was due to heart complications. On his first day in office, he decided to move straight to the Ministry of Finance and stop them from putting some funds into the country's Independence Day celebration. So he redirected the funds to help in anti-cholera operations in the country. These and many others are some of the good things that he did for the country. And earlier this week as well, his vice president, Samia Suluhu Hassan, was sworn in as Tanzania's president. She happens to be the very first woman to become president in Tanzania. May the soul of John Pombe Magufuli rest in perfect peace. And now to the international front. In 2019, a group of same-sex individuals were in the process of registering their marriages with local authorities, but were refused that registration because it was not part of their constitution. These individuals later filed a lawsuit to challenge this decision. Now, earlier this week, a Japan court in Sapporo ruled that the decision or the failure to recognize these same-sex marriages were unconstitutional. In the process of all these legal banter, the lawyer for the plaintiffs argued that it is a matter of gender equality and individual respect, and so denying same-sex marriages violates a separate constitutional provision ensuring that there is right to equality. And I mean, this is interesting, with all of these lesbianism, gay rights here and there. Of course, the LGBT community was excited that the district court ruled for them, but it doesn't change anything because this is at the district level. So the country has not yet approved of same-sex marriages as other countries like Australia, Brazil, Denmark, Portugal, Spain, South Africa have. This is what is happening in the international front. And now to some entertainment stories. I'm proud to be an African, and it's a great time to be an African as well, as Burnaboy and Wizkid won big at the just ended Grammy Awards. Burnaboy took the Best Global Music Album, and Wizkid took the Best Music Video for his song with Beyonce, Brown Skin Girl. Now, in view of all of this, there's been a lot of conversations about Nigerians and Ghanaians as to who is better and all of that. But one thing I have noticed with Nigerians and Ghanaian artists is that Nigerians are willing to take the risk to achieve anything. They don't mind going the extra mile. They invest heavily in their projects. And that is what our Ghanaian artists are failing to do. And so at the end of the day or the year, these Nigerian artists end up taking more awards, like recognizable awards, than our Ghanaian artists. So our Ghanaian artists should do a better job and invest, because if you don't invest, how do you get your returns on your investment? So congratulations to these two champions for making Africa proud. These are some of the stories that made the headlines during the week. Coming up shortly is the COVID-19 tip of the week. Do stay tuned. Welcome to the COVID-19 tip of the week. Today on COVID-19 tip of the week, I will be sharing with you some exercises you can do while at home. First, you can decide to take online classes. Secondly, you can decide to jump ropes. And of course, some dancing at home, muscle strength and balance training, and playing video games. And this is how you stay healthy during this COVID-19 era. My name is Dede Davis, and this has been This Week, where we bring you all the local, African and international stories that make the headlines during the week. This show is proudly sponsored by Wired Studios. Catch you same time next week. It's bye for now.